Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the DreamHack Malmö qualifier. It's a close qualifier. Flipside and preparation face off in the first row of games. And I think we had 90% of the games go to a third map. So every single team that competes in here is worthy of the spot. But only a few can go through. And that was a rhyme. And I really like rhyming, even though I don't like rap too much. I know of its existence. I'm more of an old school rap guy if it comes to rap. But why am I talking about rap? The rap music, c'est très bon. And the knife round is over in favor of the flip side. And that gives them the chance to stay on the CT side. I would have started on the terrorist side. I kind of like the fact that Cobblestone is such a 50-50 map. You can't really tell which side the teams are going to start on. Some teams are strong on the terrorist side, other teams are strong on the CT side. And then there are teams that are strong on the CT side against a certain other team because they have exactly the right approach to counter their strategy, but they are weak against other teams. And it's really interesting. For example, Mousesports likes to play a long. If you have a good counter to that, you will most likely win against Mousesports on Cobblestone. While other teams have a strong B hold, and it's going to be hard for terrorists that only have that B platform or the drop zone play available for themselves. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Preparation will start off with that go-to pistol play, wrap around the drop zone, and they get themselves the first frag. Well, that it stays alive with 1 HP left, but then he goes down to Lom, who just pushed him down, and the terrorists still have 2 players in connector. Shara will dispose of one of them. Bondig going down. And Shara is the last man standing in a 3v1. Katie and Crystal and Lom, the last man alive. Not too much that they can do, not too much that Shara can do about it, except for popping Crystal's head. Oh, and the GoTV starts lagging a little bit here. Katie and Lom will finish the round off, nonetheless. So, flip side, lose the pistol. That gives team preparation that first initial edge. We have really weird lags on the GoTV. Let's keep an eye on that problem. Kaden and company will keep an eye out on the A side, and alright, that's definitely a DDoS. Yeah. That's not gonna be enjoyable at all, but we are doing our very best here. Crystal and Ventin are still standing. Funnily enough, though, the CT started off with only the UMP and a few upgraded pistols, and now they end up in a 2v1 situation. Shara could still win this. The terrorists are bunched up together, so if he gets one of the frags, he could get the second, but he doesn't. Crystal with a headshot onto Shara. 2-0 in favor of team preparation. 2 players surviving only for the terrorists. Is doing some good amount of damage to their economy, as you can see yourself. They have 0 money on Glaze, 600 on Ventin. And the CTs give themselves a good chance of getting the terrorists onto a save really, really soon. Well, they did with the P250, as well as Blade and Markelov. Jara is already down. He was the kind of decoy player. Cadian with a second onto Bondik. And, yeah. I expected Blade to be the last man against 5 guys. Ah, why would you DDoS a GoTV? That's the most stupid thing I could think of. Cause nobody can watch the game if you DDoS the GoTV server. Or is that some kind of weird new bug? I don't think so. I've not experienced that so far. Rifle round was on, or is on, even though we moved and warped ourselves into the future. World edit is there. Nothing is really working, and it's really tiring, but doesn't matter. Cadian with 6 frags. World edit got himself 3 in the previous round, and Flipside will win this first round. And it was a really basic push into A by the terrorist. There wasn't much thought put into this round, and I will switch to GoTV because I've got friends in meaningful and powerful positions. Big shout out to Peter from hltv.org. Let's check the other GoTV. I hope that is not going to be as laggy as the other one. Preparation and Flipside. Let's get our heads in the game though. World edit with the orb in the back of the B bomb site, and Preparation is going for the first real strategy and first tactic. They just wanted to get this first weapon round out of there. They thought, okay, we can try and surprise them by pushing into A straight away. But Flipside had everyone in position and held off that push rather easily. This time around it's going to be a little more tricky for the CTs, because they don't really know where the terrorists are at the moment. Crystal gives away his position in B long, of course. Ah, he spots one on the platform, finally gets a frag. That was Shara burning a little bit. World edit not getting that frag either. Finally does that onto Crystal, making it a 4v4 again. Now Cadian is in there. The artillery was coming in, getting called in by the foot soldier of Glaze. And the terrorists will quickly rotate back to the A side, where we have Bondik standing, and he is on his own at the moment. Now he's got support with Blade standing at the door. Both of them will focus on A main, and now turn around for a brief second. Blade still turns around at the right moment to shut down Glaze, who was the lowest HP member on the terrorist side. Venton puts a bullet to the cranium of Blade and follows it up onto Bondik, making it a 2v1. Markelov on the rotation. The bomb is planted. Cadian with the orb. He's being dinged down to 34. And Markelov knew exactly where Venton was, but it didn't help him. Preparation make it 4-2-1 and get themselves another good start into another round, into another game here. Kind of resembling Overpass. Maybe they can do some more work, but I will never count Flipside out anymore. They are capable of coming back at any point in any game. Bondik and company on the save, obviously after winning the first rifle round and losing the second one. They are stripped of their money, of their equipment, and they have to stay defensive at the moment. A tiny bit of aggression in A main by Blade, but he's not really aggressing. He's just standing there, kind of using that aggressive position as a defensive one. Crystal with the AK, checking out the corner, spraying down Markelov. Really easy frag for him. Now he's moving forward. He doesn't know that there's one coming around, but the spray will finish Shara off. And Crystal stays alive with 27 HP. Glaze with one on drop zone. Ventin mops up one in the back. And well, that it is on his own inside the B bomb site with a used PS. Maybe he can do some damage. Almost got the kill onto Lom, but preparation will make it 5-1 nonetheless. The third rifle round. Flipside want to win this one. They don't necessarily need to win it at all costs. But if they give team preparation some more room to try some more strategies and tactics without being punished by saving or whatever, it will be hard for Flipside to claw their way back. Oh, well, that is good reaction. He's been tagged and he knew exactly where his crosshair was pointed at, even though he was still flashed. He just pulled the trigger instinctively, making it a 5v4 with that shot. Kaden waiting for his counterpart to show up, and there he is, trading it back. 4v4, good flash work onto Blade. He was completely blinded. Lom with the frag, making it a 4v3. An advantage for preparation. They will slow down, however. The flashes by the CTs doing a good work. Doing a good job, though, of blinding the Ts. But Bondik went down to Kaden nonetheless. And Flipside in a two-man disadvantage. They should fancy the save, but they will go for it. Glaze with a header onto Shara. Markelov has spotted them on the right edge of his screen. Now they haven't spotted him, but now they will. And preparation with a 6th round on the board. 6-1. We have seen the same scoreline already on Inferno. Even though it was produced by 6 rounds in a row and then 1 round by Flipside. This time it's slightly different. The CT's money is completely screwed and team preparation should make it 7-1 before Blade and his compadres can buy up again. There is Lom, the first one onto World Edit. Bondik still in drop zone together with Shara. 2 P250s can be really dangerous, but the terrorists only have 1 player around, and I don't know if Glaze will actually push there. It seems quite unlikely for him to risk his life in that sort of situation. Lom gets a spray onto Blade through the door. And the hopes of Flipside lie on the shoulders of Shara and Bondik. Bondik gets that 1 frag, but he can't pick up the weapon, so he has to retreat empty-handed. To move back. The terrorists are already on his toes. On his heels, rather. If they were on his toes, that would be weird. Bonnie just looking for an exit frag. Nobody around yet. Can't find anyone, so preparation with a 7-1. The CT should be able to buy up in the next one. And yeah, well, they didn't have enough money for the AWP, so they have to go for the rifles. And that could actually be some weakness for Flipside. They need that AWP. So many long angles. If you have an AWP, you can easily rotate and cover long angles inside the A bomb site. You can do the same on B. You can even cover B from here. You can do it over here. There's so many different things that you can use the AWP with here on Cobblestone. Some people actually start the round off very aggressive. Oh, well, that it is starting it off with a charm of a frag. Lom just sprayed down through the door. And some people would use the AWP in an aggressive move as well. The CTs don't need that yet. They just need some more kills for now. Well, that it is ordered to help Blade out a little bit. And the terrorists are doing a good job of keeping the CTs busy at the A bomb site. At the same time, they're making their way closer to B. But Shara is holding aggressively over there. Now Blade gets flashed. He's got World Edit to work with, though. And Blade gets tracked down by Ventin. Like a hunter, he followed his prey and shut him down from behind. Molotov will clean up that corner, and the CTs have to shift their positions around a little bit. Bondi gets dragged over to the A side, has to smoke World Edit out of his position, or make his position even better by making World Edit use that smoke in his advantage. Now he knows that Cadian is right on the other side of the smoke, but World Edit can't do anything about it. The terrorists going for the B push now that they got themselves 2 frags on the A side. They fancy B, and there is Shara stepping up with a double kill already. 2v3, he makes it, it goes down to a 2v2 thanks to Ventin. The bomb is dropped, it has to be planted in the nick of time. Markelov going for the spray, but the off angle. Ventin just got tagged a little bit, but the C4 is down, and Cadian has the AWP. He knows where Markelov is. He fires off that first shot, doesn't hit it though. The CT is close by, they work together, they have that additional angle, and World Edit will shut Cadian down. Flipside get this round thanks to a triple kill by World Edit, and more or less thanks to Shara's double kill. That was maybe even more important than World Edit's triple, because it slowed down that B advance, and it made it possible for Flipside to get the players into the site before Ventin got away with his life. But it's still a 7-2 scoreline, and Preparation have enough money to do whatever they like. They could buy a Lamborghini and they wouldn't worry about their amount of money. 8k post buy, 5k for 2 players. That's more than enough money for the terrorists. They try to push through the smoke. It's not too successful for them yet. Glaze and company get slowed down. Shara is still on a double kill, and he's still alive. Now he finally gets killed by Lom. Venting gets traded, and as quickly as that, Flipside have a 3rd round on the board. Shara is a key player at the moment, and he rises up to the occasion. He didn't have the best of games on the first map on Inferno, but now he is awake. What Flipside have to be wary about is the A side. Even though, as I said, it depends on how your opponents play it. Flipside could easily lose their 2 A defenders to a well-timed push by the terrorists, just like they did already. And there we go. Well, that it has covered himself quite nicely. Now Blade comes in with a flash. Oh, he's caught with a nade in his hands! Being pushed by Cadian. 4v4, and at the same time we have a fight ensuing on drop zone. Bondi gets out on top of Glaze, and the terrorists have lost that key position again. Or, well, they couldn't capture the key position. They didn't have it under control in the first place. And the terrorists with 3 players, they want to make that push into platform, and it's Shara's time to shine again. Cadian and Lom to enter the side through platform, while Crystal is working on drop zone, and he's already dropped in there. Markelov is trying to handle that position by smoking and incendiating it off, and Shara has to cover it with his rifle at the moment. That leaves platform open, and Lomi snuck his way into the site. Good chance by Preparation. The bomb goes down. Crystal with a frag onto Shara, and a second follows up onto Markelov. It's a 2v2 now, thanks to Bondik's frag onto Crystal. And Bondik is waiting for his teammate now. Well, that it has to close the gap to make it additional angles for the terrorists to cover. Cadian with the frag onto Bondik turns it into a 2v1. It's going down, tit for tat. World Edit knows where one of his opponents is, and he can guess where Lom has taken refuge, but he can't see Lom yet. Now he can, but the bomb is ticking too quickly. Cadian has not been scared, or he doesn't peek, and we have another round for Preparation. 8-3 now, and the bomb blows up. Flipside win 2 and lose the next one. Well, that it with a saved orb and his teammates with the P250s. The terrorists on the other side have their own orb still in play, and they will drop into the zone right away. Glaze with the headshot to start it off. Venton gets himself one. Caden covers his teammates' backs, and they will go through to the A side. Glaze with another one onto Blade. And the CTs can at least try to save the orb. If they work together, they could use each other as decoys for one another, and then maybe even have Bondig get a frag here or there. He's now holding back a little bit while Worded has that angle into the door. It's quite a good saving position, especially with Bondig covering the flank. Well did it. We'll see some action. Here they come. Well did it. Suddenly, Bondig with the action, and well did it suddenly in a bad position. He drags his mouse around. You can see it, and it's a double kill for him. Getting himself the 2K. Should have relieved some pressure, but the terrorists are still eager to get the kill. They want to get revenge, and he misses one of the shots, and that was one too many. Well, only one shot missed, and it's over already. The orb will be taken down by the terrorists, and Preparation make themselves go up 9-3. A very good situation for them. Flipside and the triple stack on B. But the terrorists have Cadian dropped in already. He's coming in from behind. He's spraying down the first one straight away. Markelov with a reply. But the terrorists have breached the defenses. And now they try to get themselves a foothold inside the side. Benton with the first one, or the second one rather, onto Markelov. The first one on capturing that foothold. And Flipside with a man disadvantage on the retake. Bondig is trying to make it happen. Blade is coming in from the back as well. But Glaze and Lommy make it a 3v1. And Blade is on his own. He's turning it into a 1v2. So he's giving himself a fighting chance. But it's going to be a huge task. Oh, good nade onto Lom. Redirected through the wall. Lom is down to 23. Blade tries to track him down. He gets that frag. But Glaze from the back. And Preparation are on the board with a third successive round already. Just let those two rounds slip. And after that, the Danish-Swedish mixture is up to the challenge again. 10-3 with 16 frags for World Edit. But the rest of the squad is falling off quite quickly. 7-6 for Bondig and Shara. On the other side, we have Cadian on 14 and Venton on 13. Venton with a really good performance. And Cadian on the orb most of the time. They do a good job as well. Now the CT's on the save and the terrorists are racing into the A side. They don't have any respect for their counterparts anymore. No reason to do or to pay any respect as well. Because if you're up 10-3 and your opponent is saving, you just run and gun. You don't give a damn about what's gonna happen. You will be able to trade anyway because you're so self-confident. Every single spray is gonna hit straight away. Or at least, that's how you think at the start of a round. Obviously, there are quite a few teams that can turn this upside down and win an eco round. But not in this one, and not without armor, and only P250s. And ironically enough, we have Bondig alone again. Seems to be the guy that's left alone for quite a few. He tried to get his hands on a weapon there, I think. He seems to be the guy that's left alone in the least. In the rounds that are the ones that are most likely not going to be salvaged anymore, where he does not have anything to work with. He can't even save anything, so those are the least entertaining moments when Bondig has to save a P250. Preparation in this last round of this first half on the third map. The winner of this one would face the winner of SK and Ancient. And they are currently playing the third map. I don't know what the score is on that one. It might have been over already. But I won't check it now. I will check it after this round. Cadian is supporting his teammates with the orb. Could get that one shot onto World Edit. That's down below on the right corner. You can see his outline still. But he opts to push his teammate in there first, and now he's jumping in as well. Bondik with a double kill. That was a free frag. And not the best timing. I think Team Preparation was a little bit overconfident in that push into drop zone. But it doesn't matter too much for them, even if they should lose this round. In 11-4 should be a scoreline that you can take home on Cobblestone. Good nade onto Shara, taking him down to 62. Thinking about flashing out, but he doesn't, and Ventin gets the frag for that. Shara with a double kill again. He's doing good work for Flipside. It's Crystal on his own against 3 CTs, and as he goes for the peak, Bondik takes him down 11-4. Flipside with a rough start, a somewhat glimpse of hope in the middle, and then a rough ending. And the small glimpse of hope is back again with the last round of this half. Preparation could, if they win the pistol, they could finish this game off really quickly. Let's hope for Flipside to come back and offer us another overtime. That would be really cool to see. By the way, the winners of the earlier giveaway, Ancient just beat SK Gaming 2-1. Okay. So, the winner of this game will face Ancient. Team Preparation could take revenge for the Danish brothers of SK, who just went down in a 3-map thriller against the Swedes. But they need to win this map. And Flipside already clawed their way back on Overpass when they were down 6-0 and still managed to win the whole game 16-9. Team Preparation will not let the terrorists get the foothold on the B platform. At least they try to avoid having a terrorist that foothold. Shara with a headshot onto Ventin, though, gets a foothold a little bit more concrete for the terrorists. He gets another one onto Lom, and it's a 2v5. Cadian and Crystal. Oh, make that only Crystal. Shara is really on point now that it's Cobblestone. He seems to really like that map. Played with the last one onto Crystal. Preparation on the pistol loss. And Flipside get themselves the much needed pistol round on the board. Markelov and Shara with the UMPs. The rest of the squad with a Tech 9 and 2 Mag 10s. There's a lot of SMGs for the terrorists, and Preparation has head armor on 2 players. This could really be bad for Flipside. 4 players inside the B bomb, by the CT side as well. Bonding with the first frag. Glaze and Crystal answer. Glaze is still on the 5-7 on the 3, and he gets himself a double kill. Turning it into a 2v2 is World Edit and Markelov, but they are yet to set foot on the site itself. Cadian is coming in from behind as well. They try to nade Glaze down. What a good nade that was. 16 HP remain for him. Cadian has to hold his horses. Another nade comes raining in, and the terrorists use their equipment wisely, just like Cadian did use a CZ. Getting that one onto Markelov was really important, leaving World Edit and a Mag 10 on the side. The bomb gets planted on B. Cadian has to turn around. He was on the way to A. Expected the terrorists to have split up, but they haven't. Cadian with the smoke in there. World Edit wants to go for the spray, and the 10-second defuse was a little bit too long anyway. Still a good try by Cadian, and especially with Glaze on the 5-7. That has scared Flipside quite a bit. The CTs with a 4-man main stack now. Cadian is still in connector. Well, that it is their opponent, and the rest of the squad on the terror side is going for the B execution. Well, that it is closing the gap. Joins his mates. Cadian has to go big if he wants his teammates to win this round. But the terrorists will not exactly go for those frags. I believe that it would be best for Flipside to stay away and not give the CTs any money with those frags, or for those frags. At the same time, they have one map3 and a UMP that could get some additional money for themselves. And well, that it got a good tag onto Lom. Didn't let Blade pick up that frag. That was a little selfish. Now we have the CTs coming in from the back. No problem for World Edit. AK has been dropped though. They quickly pick it up. World Edit and Bondig with the rifles to save. And team preparation with the map to save. And the match to save as well. 4 more rounds for Flipside and they would have drawn the game. Team preparation on the first buy round with 22 kills on World Edit. They need to stop him from getting another opening frag. And if he starts getting those kills on the terrorist side, he will be so confident in his own ability. It's gonna be hard for them to stop that. The CTs have a 4-man stack on the B side, and the drop zone will be attacked by Markelov on his own. He's got his teammates at B long to work with. Markelov tosses his whole equipment into the drop zone. The terrorists could still rotate back, and they will do that. The bomb is already on their way, or on its way. The CTs are yet to pick up that momentum on the terrorist side. That it swung back from B to A. Now Cadian is retreating, but he doesn't call in for a rotation yet. Now Lom is joining in. Glaze is coming in as well. 2 players to support Cadian, who has some smoke set up on long to slow the terrorist advances. And Chara is already in position in main, just waiting for the cue of his teammates. 44 seconds on the clock for Flipside. Bonning checking out the stairs, just thorough play, and a good counter flash, drops the bomb as well, but Glaze, oh, he steps it up, gets the refrag for his teammate that went down. Markelov with the UMP onto Cadian. Glaze just keeps on racking frags up. Bondig finally gets rid of him, but it's a 2v2 with 20 seconds on the clock, and a bomb still has to be planted. The CTs are already inside the site. They have Venton on the truck and Crystal on the balcony. Venton will dispose of the bomb carry. Now he gets flanked by World Edit, goes down to the Tech 9 seconds, 8 seconds on the clock. World Edit on 42, and he runs into Crystal, and the Tech 9 headshot will finish the round in favor of Flipside. What a chaotic turn of events. Preparation had the right move. They had everything settled, but Flipside had a few really good kills by World Edit in particular. The Tech 9 too strong for the Danes and the Swedes. And some bad luck as well for team preparation with their movements. Venton running into World Edit at the truck, and at the same time we had Crystal changing his position and ended up straight in the crosshair of Crystal, of World Edit, of course. Cadian and company on the P250s and 2 Deagles. And after this round, they will have weapons again. Shara is just improving his kill count from round to round. 2 kills, or no, 2 or 3 kills in the previous round. This time he makes it a 2k, a 3k. Kaden and Glaze answer back. Suddenly the Deagles and the P250s come to work, but it's not enough for the CTs. Just a small, scary situation handled rather well by Flipside. 2 more rounds for the Ukrainian squad to get back in here into this game. Kaden is back on the orb, and we have well-leaded his counterpart going for A main. Lom is there, but he doesn't show himself. Kaden gets run boosted up to the platform. The terrorists haven't seen that, so they might be surprised by that movement and by that position. Oh, now it's given away. The terrorists are not wounded by that orb shot. Markelov going for some platform and some drop zone play. But nothing to be gained over there except for some wall of smoke. Lom is still working on A main. He's just covering for now. And he's completely alone. Finally somebody comes to his help. It's Ventin. Flipside making their way to the A side. They leave Markelov behind in drop zone. And Kaden disposes of him over there with the orb. Now the terrorists go must be on. They can't afford to give the CTs enough time to rotate. They have to hurry up. 30 seconds on the clock. The CTs already have an additional player moving in. It's Kaden with the orb while the terrorists get the double kill for Bondik, who burns alive to Lom. Shara closes out Kaden. It's a 2v2 now. Oh, Shara turns around to make it a 1v2. And well, that it is there. He's racing to the bomb, planting it in safety. Crystal is there. He already had a similar situation earlier. This time around he's alone. Shara is close by on the truck. Great timing by Shara. Triple kill for him. And he is going nuts. 19 frags now, and most of them have been in the past few rounds. He ended the half with 9 frags, 10 of them in a matter of 6 rounds. Two 3Ks in a row by Shara. Flipside about to draw this game at 11. And preparation have to avoid giving them too much to work with. So ideally, the terrorists look for the CTs look for 1 or 2 frags. They almost got one of their eco rounds in their favor. Maybe they can pull it off again. Lom and the P250 looking for the frag in A main. Gets it done onto Blade. Doesn't pick up the weapon though. Small timing mistake by Lom. Doesn't get him the AK, but he was refragged by well-leaded anyway. Maybe if he had picked up the AK straight away, he could have been more effective. Doesn't matter. Crystal is alone, and as I switch to him, he's already sprayed down by Shara and well-leaded. 11-11. Flipside with a flawless terrorist side so far. Maybe they started on the CT side to see how well they have to play on the terrorist side. And since they lost 11-4 in the first half, they know, okay guys, we have to be really good on the terrorist side. Let's all be really good and we should win this game. Lom is on A main again. Markelov in drop zone, cleaning that up, keeping the CTs busy over there. And preparation is yet to really receive that information. The terrorists are always on the A bomb site, or they are always around that A bomb site. And Lom is always alone over there. Now he's taken down already. The CTs have no entrance to the site anymore, and they have to save already. Flipside with 2 frags to open up the round, and that's enough to win it. And that's exactly how you should play it as well. When you get that early frag, You need to capitalize on that. Lom was on the lookout for some information. He was on the way to A long, and the terrorist got the frag and then pushed through to the side straight away. In the meantime, Markelov got himself a frag in drop zone, so he did his job as well. And now it's time to hunt. KD and Crystal stayed alive with the weapons, so Preparation can still afford weapons. But Flipside have 14k on World Edit. He needs to start dropping weapons for Markelov, because he only has 2.3. And World Edit's money is capped at 16k, as you might know. And yeah, if he gets to max money, it's basically money out the window that they would have gotten otherwise. So Flipside and company go for that boost. Oh, that was kind of cheeky, but it didn't pay off. The terrorists are still not really in control, but they are in the side, and at least they got themselves in the action. Crystal still on the statue on 7 HP. He's getting out of this cover ring and gets himself the frag. Almost gets it a second. Glaze with the frag, and Team Preparation suddenly mop up all the frags. They have clawed in the terrorists from all the different sides. They had the perfect positions to just all pop out and get themselves kills. Good timing by Preparation as well to communicate that, okay guys, let's go for the peaks in 3, 2, 1, and everyone peaks and everyone gets the frags. Danish-Swedish mixer avoids having to save again. But it's still an uphill struggle for them. They can't forget about that. They can't forget about the fact that Flipside have so much money at their disposal. They don't need to save anymore. 2 rounds to buy. Loser bonus would stack up a possible bomb plant, and they would be able to force it up before they need to save. So good frags by Glaze though in main, stepping it up on a third one onto Bondik, who came to get rid of him in main, and Glaze with a 4th frag in a main. Everyone just ran into him, voluntarily giving up their lives to Glaze, their master. The AK being reloaded while World Edit is going for the push, and he will be flanked by Ventin. Good play by Glaze. On top of that, I mean, he got the first frags over here, then he closed out one over there, and then he turned away again to get one frag over there. And then he ran away, and he didn't challenge anymore. He let his teammates take over. And it all looked so easy for him as well. That's maybe the coolest thing about it. Team Preparation with a round lead, but as I mentioned before, Flipside have enough money, but they suffered a huge blow to their confidence. As you can see yourself, they completely changed their approach to the rounds. They focus a little more on A long, and now they are back on the drop zone /B, so they have spread out a little bit more, and their focus is definitely shifted a little bit. They are not as focused on the execution play anymore. It's more of a pick and push. 35 seconds on the clock. Markelov tossing out a smoke to get control of drop zone. And Blade will open up the round with that frag onto Lom. 4v5. The terrorists all on the platform now except for Blade, who's still inside the A-bomb set, and he keeps him busy over there. Crystal has to step up. He's on 49 HP. He's out of teammates as well. Nobody there to help him anymore, but it's M4A1, and he uses it to pop some heads before he goes down to Bondik, and the bomb goes down in the nick of time. Cadian is on his own. He's got a good angle there, but well that it has spotted him. And Cadian goes down 13-13. The CTs have saved some money, and it will barely be enough for that buy. They just get it done. An AWP for Cadian, max 7 for Lomi. 3 rifles for the rest of the squad. But that's not the way they wanted it to pan out. A 4-man stack on B again. Preparation is back to the default play with Lom holding A alone. And Flipsid is back to their default too. Bondik and Well Edit are working on A, while the rest of the squad is just holding on to B for now, and they are looking for some mistake by the CTs. Team Preparation would make any, they would have been punished straight away. A rotation by Preparation. Ventin and Glaze are over at the A-bomb side now. Markelov is still on the drop zone. He can't see anyone there. But the CTs are not fooled at all, and that's a big call now for the CTs. They have to stay there. Markelov goes down to Crystal, who's really going big in the previous rounds, even though the last one didn't end in his team's favor. He still put up a lot of resistance there. And Preparation, with the 3 guys at A, they can easily counter that move. Lom is completely flashed, but the max 7 still gets a frag onto Shara before he gets raided by Blade, and Ventin with the double kill. Blade is on his own, not anymore, as he joins his teammates in the grave. Preparation make it 14-13, and they keep themselves in the contestants of this game, of this match. And Flipside with a forced buy. 2 AKs, 1 UMP, a Tech 9, and a 3rd AK for World Edit, who had a huge impact at this stage of the game. But now he's not doing too well anymore. At least his team is losing a few rounds here and there. As always, we have the 4-man stack on B by the CTs. And Flipside haven't made up their minds yet. Just overall waiting for smokes to dissolve all over the map. Now, well, that it could try and capture a long alone, but it's quite dangerous to do so. If there is a CT around, usually you should have backup as well. And that could be quite deadly for World Edit. So he stays back and he waits for his teammates to make that push, so World Edit can maybe make something happen from behind. Markelov with the UMP spray onto Ventin. Crystal goes down to Bondik. Lom is on the rotation, and Glaze tries to keep the terrorists at bay. They're dropping, they're splitting the A side, and nobody knows that yet except for Lom, who might have seen them all, but he has passed them. And now it's Markelov in the smoke. Lom is on the rotation back to the side. Tries to avoid the bomb from going down. Oh, it's taken a lot of time for Flipside to get the C4 planted. That gives the CT some time to rotate. But look at Markelov. He's still in the drop zone. Nobody knows that. Well, okay, they know. Glaze is definitely focused on drop zone. But Markelov will slow them down so much, and he's so low on HP. They need to handle him before they can do anything else. And now they have wasted so much time that they don't have time anymore to go for the push. And Markelov has won the round for Flipside, together with that amazing play by Blade, or not the play necessarily, but the call to go for the rotation. Really good stuff by Flipside. 14-14. Preparation did avoid having to save in the previous one, and now they have saved 3 weapons. They can drop an orb, a weapon, FAMAS for Crystal, and somehow Preparation is back on weapons again, but they lack a few grenades, especially on Crystal. And some firepower on him as well. Considering how important Crystal was in the previous rounds with clutch play and key frags, you might want to give him a FAMAS. Oh, Kaden drops cold to the floor as Shara disposes of him with a straight headshot of the AK. And now a good flash comes in. Glaze with a frag onto Shara, retaliating for his teammate's loss. 4v4 again. Flipside still have enough time. They can still set up an according 4v4 take. Blade is down to 15 and that will hurt him later on. Glaze still has a nade and an incendiary nade. If Blade steps into that nade, it could be his end. Lom and Venton cover the A side. Now they are all three together. Only Crystal staying at B with the orb. And no, he's not the German orb Crystal. He's the Swede. He's about to get surrounded by the terrorists, but the CTs have the triple backstab coming up, and Crystal will stomp that first one that showed up. Glaze and company run in there. They drop the bomb. Venton with one, Glaze with one. It's a 1v3 in favor of the CTs. Marklov has to salvage the bomb first. He doesn't know that the bomb site is actually clean. There is nobody there anymore. Everyone is on the back, and now he has spotted them. Now he spotted all three. But he couldn't use that information anymore. They killed him too quickly. 15-14 in favor of team preparation. They have one match point in his best of 3 that went to the third map. Rightfully so. We had an overtime in the first one already. And the second was a game that initially started with team preparation on the throttle. And Flipside just kicked him off of the driving seat. Said, okay, we are going to take over. And they won 16-9 in the end. Oh, Markelov with a P250 headshot and another one onto Kaden. Crystal answers back, but well that it shuts him down and glazes the last line of defense inside the A bomb site. Inside the B bomb site, of course. Lomi is there as well to help him out, but Glaze is already down. It's a 1v2. They spray him through the door. He's down to 48 HP. And Markelov has a perfect position. If Lom tries to make his way to the side, he's gonna run into his crosshair. And Markelov steps in with a triple kill in this very important round, making it 15-15 and taking it to an overtime. What an exchange by the two teams. Preparation and Flipside. Wow. I don't know who is going to win now. It's really hard to tell. You can see Shara's impact in this stage of the game was so big, so important for his team. The same for Crystal's frags over here on the B bomb site. Did so much important work for his mates. And World Edit, who did the most part of his work in that area, where ironically they only won 2 rounds, even though World Edit got numerous 2K rounds in a row. And then he had a huge jump in here to help Shara carry Flipside a little bit, and then it was going up and down. You can see it on the graphs yourself. It was at first a straight up start for the two teams, and then a few trades back and forth. We didn't see any save round upsets by the teams, and that's a good sign for both of the squads. We had that one lower buy and this one lower buy, but no real save round upsets. Flipside always had 2 or 3 AKs with them, or at least a UMP in the mix as well, so you can't really call it a save. So no real save round upsets by any of the teams, which is a good sign to all the fans, because it seems like their teams are able to handle those anti-ecos rather convincingly. And if you do that, at least the chances for upsets get diminished a little bit. Okay, so the teams are taking their time. Flipsid will start on the terrace side, and we already saw that it's a 16k map3 overtime. And the 16k will allow the CTs to get an easy double orb in the first round. They can, even if they lose this first round with the double orbs, they could still be able to invest into 2 more orbs for the map3. So this might actually have a huge impact on the CT sides on Cobblestone. Cadian finally readies up. Some prep talk by Cadian. If you've ever seen him or met him, you know that he's the motivator in any given situation. Let's see if the CTs go for the double orb setup straight away. Or what they're about to do. We had a small pause again. Okay, Blade asked for one moment. The CTs. Okay. I don't want to have anyone ghost. But then again, we have a Russian stream as well, so I just want to avoid having, well, I don't want to suspect anyone, but it's possible for teams to go to the stream and then see what the others have bought. And I don't want to have anyone do that. So that's why I switched on the overlay. Now we have the unpause, and it's underway. Cadian and Glaze, please make a decision. What do you want to buy? Okay, Glaze is not going for an orb. It's only Cadian. And no autoscope either. As I said, 16k map3. Well let it on the scope. Looking for that first encounter. It's gonna be the full B execution against the 3 CTs. Preparation focused a little bit on the A-bomb side. They expected a switch, a change in the tactics of Flipside, but it didn't happen, at least not yet. The terrorists are focused on drop zone with 3 players over there. Now one is joining their teammates on the platform, and Shara will dispose of the first one, making it the man advantage for the terrorists. The CTs have to rotate their players in as quickly as possible, and they do that, but Markelov will shift it even further into the favor of the terrorists with a double kill. Markelov coming alive in the past few rounds. Bondik with the headshot onto Glaze, and it's a flawless round for Flipside, kicking it off here in the overtime. 16-5. World Edit and company scare preparation a little bit, because I would be scared if the enemies start the overtime with a flawless round. That's not a good sign at all. Cadian gets counter flashed before he pushes for the peak. Oh, and Cadian and Lome combine, but the 2 CTs quickly fall to Shara's double kill. And as I said, Shara had such a big impact already. in so many important rounds, he's having that impact again. 4v3, CTs try to keep the bomb from going down, and they do a good job of that. Crystal with a kill, but now Shara snuck his way through the lines. He's getting himself the triple already, and now he's on the flanking move to the CTs. A quad kill for Shara. Can he ace them in the overtime? It would be really sick for Flipside to have that morale boost on top of that first flawless round. They could get an ace for one of their players. Venton is tucked into the corner with a P90. I don't even know why he ended up buying a P90. It's not really weird, but doesn't matter. Shara will not get the ace, but Bondik with the last one. And it's not a question of money. Venton could have easily bought up something else. Not a P90, I mean. Now they had a... Okay, no. Yeah. Team preparation with a normal buy this time around. No P90 for nobody. They go for the same setup they used in the first round, and this time it's the right setup to take. Markelov is the only one working on B. The rest of the focus is on the A side. And preparation have 2 players in there. They just have to avoid being wrapped around on. Plays with the first one onto Bondik. But Blade is already through to the side. He knows there is at least one CT in long. And his terrorist teammates have to carry in the bomb. Lom and Glaze are working together. Still, nobody knows where each other is. Shara is already in the connector. And he gets rid of Venton over there. Drawing it back to equal players on both sides. Crystal with an important spray onto Shara. Just barely finishes the job. 13 HP remain for him. Well, that it shuts down Glaze, and it's tit for tat again. 2v3. Well, that it goes down to Lom. The bomb is still ticking in favor of Markelov, who's caught on in the open by Cadian. And preparation will win 1 out of 3 rounds in this first half of the first overtime. In the third map of the first game of team preparation and Flipside in the DreamHack Malmö qualifier. It's going down the wire. 2 rounds for Flipside, definitely working in their favor. But I don't know if team preparation is not even better on the terrorist side. They had the same kind of start. Team preparation maybe even had a better showing due to the fact the CTs figured them out, and then they changed and they still got rounds, while Flipside got the majority of the rounds before the CTs even got a hang of what they were about to do and how they click and what they do in the rounds. But that's yeah, that's just a thought. It's not really a fact. You could argue about that. The terrorists will take it really slow this time around. Crystal looking for the opening shot. There is well at it, giving away his position. They know where the orb is. Lom and company are setting up on the A side. Still waiting for a mistake by the CTs to go for a stupid peek here or there. And the terrorists are looking for that early advantage still. They have Glaze and drop zone, but nobody goes for a peek there either. Venton doesn't see anyone on A long, and it's gonna be the 5v5. Look at Chara though. I think he has spotted. Yeah, he has spotted Glaze. He catches him with a knife out, gets the frag with ease. The terrorists are down a man thanks to Shara's cheeky push, and he's coming in from the back to the terrorists. Did Shara get called? Because nobody's actually giving a damn about the back. Now Crystal is turning around, and he just spotted Shara from afar. He has to focus on the push, though. He has to help his teammates out a little bit. They lost another one. Venton hit the floor hard. Whoa, well, that is going to work. 8 seconds on the clock as well. And Bondik with a double kill, making it 18-16. One more round for Flipside to get into the next round of the DreamHack Malmö qualifier and face off against Ancient, the Swedes that just took out SK Gaming. Team preparation have to rally themselves. 30 frags for Glaze, 21 on Cadian and Crystal. Overall, a team effort by preparation so far, but the same could be argued about Flipside, who had Markelov winning quite a few, 2 rounds it was, even though he's on 16 frags. He had a lot of impact in the game. And of course, Well Edit and Shara that I pointed out already. And don't forget about Blade, who was really good on the first 2 maps as well. Oh, preparation have been hit in the face by that incendiary nade. Oh, Blade blocks them off in the smoke a little bit. That wasn't on purpose, and he walks into his own incendiary nade. Benton with an easy frag of the AK. 4v5. Preparation is fighting for the life in the tournament and for that qualification. Well, that it just wants to do some damage, but he's not seeing anyone yet. Markelov with 1 frag before being traded by Lom. And a 4v2 is almost impossible to clutch for Shara and Well Edit. They only have 1 smoke, and the terrorists need to go for stupid peeks for the CTs to have a chance here. And nobody's peeking yet. The smoke still blocked the CTs off a little bit. Now Shara has that first one on the belt. Glaze though replies on Well Edit, makes it a 1v3. And even though I don't want to say that Shara wouldn't be capable of winning a 1v3 here, the way that preparation played is really nasty. Going for peeks and then hiding away again, and then peeking from a different position and hiding away. So they kept him on his toes all the time. 18-17 now. Preparation can draw this game again. They can bring us to another overtime. The CTs don't have to worry about the money thanks to the 16k overtime. And we will see if Well Edit and company can take it home right now, or if we will see preparation take it to another overtime. Oh, sorry. I'm 27. My voice is not supposed to break in the middle of a sentence. Cadian is pushing forward and he wants to break the CT's momentum, but Shara is there with a double kill. Markelov is around as well. Glaze and Lomi are suddenly alone. Make that only Lomi, who's on the A side, and the bomb is dropped away already. Cadian calling it a TGWP, even though his teammate is in a, well, really hopeless situation. I wouldn't do that any given match. Lomi is working the very best that he can do. He's trying to achieve that goal. If he had the bomb, or have had the bomb with him, would have been so much more possible, but not anymore. Bondik with a headshot, and Flipside will qualify for the next round of the DreamHack Malmö qualifier. 19-17.